Coming up on the Unleashed Pawcast, we'll talk about all the new and exciting changes at Unleashed here in 2025. There are a lot, and it's going to be pretty fun. Plus, a chance to have a conversation with our new trainer, Holly, and tell you all about our awesome, exciting play and train program and just how we're going to do winter at Unleashed. I'll give you a hint. We had some renovations, and it is pretty awesome. It's better than it used to be.
Take me to play, 'cause I really like to go there. I will have some fun. I'll be soaking up the sun. Unleash the joy. Come stay and play. Unleash the fun. Unleash the fun. Unleash the joy. Come stay and play. Unleash the fun. Unleash the fun.
How you doing, everybody? Ben Larson. I am the host and owner of Unleashed, and glad to have you along for our first podcast, or our podcast, here in 2025. And we've got a lot to talk about because there's a lot of cool stuff going on at Unleashed that's just gets more and more exciting as we do it longer and longer. We've been at this thing about 5.5 years now, and it's never been better. And I hope to be saying the same thing a year from now and 2 years from now. So it's been pretty fun. We've got a lot to get to, but as always on the podcast, I want to start with our faux sponsor, and that is winter. Old man winter. It is January. It is cold. Maybe a little warm up. And you love it when you warm up to 30 and it's like, it's kind of nice out. And then back down. We haven't had the severe deep freeze yet. I'm sure it's coming. Anyway, as you can see, we got a lot of cool things going on in the winter time in terms of at least scenery, right? You got Jasmine, one of our OGs. Toby is another dog, and the tree is no longer there, but I wanted to add it because it was there once and it was pretty cool. Started dying on us. We had to cut it down, and it is what it is. But wintertime can be a lot of fun. Plus, we have some video of Buster and Toby having fun in the snow, and we have this capability to have dogs do this a lot, right? Fun in the snow. We have our 3 outdoor play yards, and when it snows and when you get a fresh winter snow, it's a great time because dogs really enjoy it. And even if you're midway through the winter and they're used to the snow, there's nothing like a fresh fallen snow. And, if the temperature's even in the 20s, they're going to have a blast out there playing and having a good time. But it gets cold. It gets to be long days out there if they have to spend the whole day out there. So what did we do? Well, we did something pretty cool in December. We added some turf and some new fencing to our covered play area and allowed us to create these awesome play yards where we can have the turf surface and we can better separate the play groups. So our main play groups can be in the covered play area now, which has a heater and usually gets to 20, 25 degrees warmer than it is outside. And so you can kind of see the way it's split here. That's a panoramic view of it. One play yard's about 1,100 square feet. The other one's 900 square feet. And it has been truly awesome, even better than I could have expected because it's warmer. The dogs are comfortable. It's, usually on a typical cold winter day, a day that might be 15 degrees outside, it's 40 in the covered area. No wind, no precipitation. You're out of the elements. You're on turf. It's just so much more comfortable. And it's been really a great thing to add. So if you're thinking about, it's winter time, what are my dogs going to do? Are they going to be in a small interior room? Does that make a lot of sense? Well, no. We at Unleashed have this awesome covered arena, and now you get 1,000 square feet, 900 square feet in one yard and the other yard, and your dogs can play and enjoy the turf surface and just have a good old time playing as though it was the middle of summer, almost. But it's nice for them. Again, they have those fur coats, keep them warm. It's not too bad. So it's been a good addition when we did those things for Unleashed and helping us get through the winter, and look forward to some awesome winters to come, including this one with our revamped covered area. Okay, so that's one thing that's new, this winter at Unleashed. Another thing is our play and train program, which is just really cool. We added the play and train program, launched it in December, actually officially had it start just recently here, and I get a chance to do the program. So what is that, you ask? Well, it combines daycare and training, kind of the best of both worlds. It gives your dog a chance to have a full day of daycare first, the socialization, the enjoyment of playing and having that social time with the other dogs, the energy, the stimulation, socialization. Then they get a little break, and then they do training in the afternoon with our trainer Holly, who is our new director of training. She's outstanding. She's done a great job. We will talk to her a little bit later on the podcast. But yeah, you get a chance to work with Holly and do some training sessions. And we customize it to what you want. Okay. So if you want to work on, your dog's jumping too much, or your dog needs help on leash walking, or your dog maybe needs help being reactive to other dogs, we can work on all those stuff and more, basic stuff. We're not trying to train show dogs here, but just basic stuff. And we work with you through the process with videos, with constant consultation, letting you know how things are going, what you need to work on at home. And then as part of the Play and Train program, we're going to bring you in. We usually do about 10 lessons. You can do 6, you can do 10. We have a 20 lesson package as well. We're going to bring you in for a private lesson as part of this. And you're going to be able to have that knowledge translate, right? If we've had success working with the program, you're going to have that knowledge translate over to you. And so you can have success taking this thing at home. So again, it's pretty cool. You got the Play and Train. You've got, again, the half day of structured daycare and the half day of training. And it is just a really good benefit for you and your dog. And again, the nice thing about Play and Train is it combines everything, right? It combines the idea that you can come and it's not just a one-on-one lesson. You're actually getting genuine play time with the pack, okay? Getting all that energy burned out, the socialization, which is a huge help. And then after that sort of energy's worked out, you're in a better state, most dogs are, to do some training, to soak it in and do some training and understand what we're trying to get you to do and make some progress. And so it really is an outstanding program. We're very excited about it. And it is up and running at Unleashed. And so, hey, tell a friend if you're interested yourself. You think, oh, my dog could work on a few things. Check out our website. There's information there. You can call us and text us and all the stuff. Get in contact with us. We will customize it to your needs and your dog's needs. And if you have a friend that you go over to their house and their dog's like crazy, hey, tell them about it too, because it's a lot of training is super expensive and maybe you're not going to get the results that you want. And some people will do a board and train where they send their dog away for 3 weeks. Those all have their places for sure. But we have a very special program we feel at Unleashed called the Play and Train program. And we're excited to get up and running with it and already have seen some great results here early on in the month of January. And we're obviously continuing all through 2025 and beyond with our Play and Train program. Another thing that's awesome, we brought in Lauren. Well, we didn't bring in Lauren. Lauren's been here for a while, but she got officially certified as a level 1 groom tech. What does that mean? She can do baths. She can do specialty baths. She can do brush outs. One of the great ones we do is the shed control treatment that we're going to be talking about a lot more because there's so much hair everywhere. When you have dogs, I have 2 golden retrievers in this very office, this room that I'm doing the podcast in, there's hair all over the floor. And I just vacuumed. But they continue to come in and dump the hair all over the place, and I need to get shed control. So we need to do shed control treatment for them. It's a special 5-step process where we blow out the fur first, then we use special shampoo, special conditioner. We blow out the fur again. We brush out your dog. We get all the possible loose and loosening hair out of your dog possible onto our floor in our bathtub, not yours, not your clothes, not your bed, not your furniture, not your floor. We get it all out on our floor and we clean it up and send you home with a dog that's been shedded or de-shedded as much as possible. Obviously, it's something you have to do periodically, but it gives you a chance to just get all that fur out as much as possible. So it's awesome. Again, it's that special 5-step process. Okay. You talk about the pre-blowout, the special shampoo, special conditioner, brush out with the special brush, and the ultra vitalizing mist spray. That is the 5-step process. And we use high-speed blowers. In fact, have a little video of it here as a demonstration when we did this on Jasper. And you can see, if you look closely, all the fur coming off just from, this is just stage 1. This is just the blowout. Before we did any bath or shampoo or anything like that, this is just stage 1. And you can see, if you look closely, the fur is filling the room. We got that on camera. It's especially prominent with a Pyrenees and the white fur, but this is the thing that would do to any dog. We see a lot of labs too, where the fur comes off, or retrievers, golden retrievers. My dogs, Buster and Toby, 2 goldens, where you can get all this fur going through the air as well. So we're going to remove it where we are, so that you don't have to at home. That's just one of our grooming enhancements, though. We've got nail filing. We've got fresh breath treatment, where we put some mints in your dog's mouth. They're little droplets that will freshen the breath, so you don't have to deal with it at least for a little while at home. The nail filing, getting your dog's nails round and smooth so they're not jagged, and they're shorter with the nail filing. So it's a really good service there. Healthy skin and coat treatment. You get a lot of dogs who have problems with allergies or sensitive skin. We have special shampoo and conditioner where we can have their healthy skin and coat treatment, and of course the shed control as well. So again, Lauren is with us. She is our newly minted level 1 groom tech. We're so excited. We can do more baths. We can do more special enhanced baths, and we can just make the whole experience a lot better for you and your dog at Unleashed. And again, these are just some of the things that are happening here in 2025 that we're just super excited about, to be able to enhance what we're doing and add our programs and get it going. The other thing that's going on is our puppy program. Okay, so we've talked about this before, but it's just been a delight to have the puppies with us. Everybody loves puppies. Who doesn't love puppies? And the best thing in the world is getting that fresh, cute puppy. That 9-10 week old puppy, and we have 2 of them now, Mac and Stormy, just currently while we do this. So we'll just show you these guys in action. The program is designed to help your puppy get acclimated to life. Okay. And so they get a chance to be with us all day. You can go to puppy school, 1 to 2 hour classes, things like that. But here at the puppy program, you get this right here. Dogs get a chance to socialize and play and run around and get some energy out. And then we work on them with things like crate training. You see Amber working with Stormy here. When Stormy first came to us, barking all the time, resisting going in the crate. Look at this. We work on these things every day. So Stormy learns how to go into the crate and be good. And it's great. And then we work on the desensitization. Okay, so here's Amber with Mac, grabbing the tail, the paws, making sure to put hands all over, getting the puppy used to you putting hands in mouths and noses and ears and being touched and handled. Because how many times you see dogs who don't get that treatment, and then all of a sudden, they're kind of a bite risk, or it's not good when they get older. And so got to desensitize them. Then we do some fun enrichment things like the puzzle here that Stormy is acing. Stormy's killing the puppy puzzle. Nature walks with Mac here, looking at Mac going out into the yard and just exploring. Now Mac's going to have a little work to do, because you see Mac's pulling. And so we'll work as Mac gets older. Mac's only, I think, 12 weeks old right now, something like that. So we're going to have to work with Mac to get that leash a little looser on the walk. And then stairs. How many puppies have a problem with stairs? We work on things like this. You see Stormy not quite sure of herself, right? She's kind of, okay, I don't know, I guess I'll take a step. In no time here, she's going to be bounding up and down the stairs. We're going to work on that for you, so you don't have to spend time at home. You're busy. You've got jobs and lives, and you got to spend time at home doing all this stuff. We're going to do it here for you at Unleashed. That's why the puppy program is so awesome. And it's a great foundation for your dog. And then some more playtime here. It's a great foundation for your dog, and it helps get them into, daycare and gets them set up for life. And there's some other things that we do too, is as they get older, we're going to socialize them with some of our older adult dogs that can handle puppies, and not get too irritated by them. But we have some great adult dogs that are super gentle with the puppies, and integrate them into adult dog group play as well. That happens later at 15, 16, 17 weeks of age, as it becomes more safe from a communicable disease standpoint and as they get older. So a great program. We've always been super excited about the puppy program. But again, if you have friends, family, yourself, if you're thinking about getting a puppy, if you have friends or family who are getting puppies, this is just a great idea. Twice a week, come spend a whole day twice a week. You don't have to go and attend a 2-hour class on a January night at a store, where they do the puppy classes. You can do it, just drop your puppy off at Unleashed, and we'll give them more than what you get in that 2-hour class. So I love the puppy program. It has been awesome for puppies to come to Unleashed and what we're doing, and we've just really enjoyed it. So it's those things going on, the training, the enhanced bath service we've got going on, the puppy program, the enhanced facilities. Things just keep getting better and better at Unleashed as we go along, and couldn't be more excited. Like I said off the top, it is the most exciting it's ever been to be a part of Unleashed, and it's only going to continue because we've got big plans going forward as well, including just having a lot more fun with events and special daycare days this year. And one of those, or a few of those, have been happening already in January. For instance, I'll show you a little bit. We had a fitness day where we took the dogs out and we set up agility equipment in the play yards, and we had the dogs play and do some activities last week. This was, and we're going to be doing things like that. We had National Cuddle Day. We have Peanut Butter Day coming up. There's a lot going on with different themed events and themed days. We're going to do a training day as well coming up later in January. We'll have some great social media posts about that, where we do some training tips, and we showed certain dogs, daycare dogs, some training techniques. So it's a lot of fun, but the dogs really, you put something new and stimulating in the play yard for the group. And even though they're not all pros at this, as you can see, it gives them something to do and something to be alert to. And again, it's about enrichment. It's about stimulation. It's about understanding, or it's about giving them more to do than just kind of mill around the play yard all day or play without any structure. So what we're trying to do is establish and do structured daycare on a day-to-day basis at Unleashed, and very excited about what we have planned and what we're doing in 2025 as it relates to just the enhancement of our daycare on a day-to-day basis. So we've got Holly coming up. I want to get to it because I had a chance to sit down with her and have a really good conversation. Holly is our new trainer, comes with 2+ years of experience at running her own training classes. She is going to be the head trainer for our Play and Train program, working one-on-one with dogs and pet parents, working on specific things that can, make your life better. If you're tired of your dog at whatever age, by the way, it doesn't have to be where, like, if you have a 9-year-old dog and you just give up. We have a dog that she's working with in the program right now who has just been really hard to deal with for your owner in a lot of respects for several years. Well, we're working with the dog, and you can't ever promise or guarantee success, and it is harder for older dogs. Don't want to pretend that it's not, but that whole "you can't teach an old dog new tricks," it's not true. It's not entirely true. You don't have to sit there and assume that you're helpless if you get an older dog, and it's going to be harder. You've got to teach the dog, and you've got to work with a little more. It's not a blank slate like a puppy is, but it can be done. And so we're open to that. We want to consult with you if you have needs or questions, or you think, hey, can we work on this? We're working with a couple other dogs who've never really quite understood how to handle themselves in group play. They can't read social cues from other dogs very well, and it can lead to potential danger with fights and things like that. Holly is seeing if we can work with those dogs, and if we feel that we can and make progress, we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you either way what we feel. But if we can, the Play and Train program could be an excellent opportunity for you to finally allow your dog to have the joy of group play, and have your dog understand, oh, this is what the social cues mean. This is where I need to back off, or not be so crazy in group, that sort of thing, right? Because it happens. And so we have all of these capabilities now. We're super excited about it, and we can give your dog, again, the best of both worlds with Play and Train, right? Because you get that socialization, the energy burn off, the joy and fun of group play in the morning, followed by training in the afternoon. And it's just, in my opinion, just a great option for many, many dogs. Training is very broad, and there are good fits for all dogs for all different types of training. But what we're trying to do here, I think, is really, really exciting. And so, without further ado, had a chance just a little bit earlier to sit down with Holly and talk about all of it with her, and kind of get her vision, maybe have a chance for you to get to know her a little bit. And so here's our conversation with Holly here on the Unleashed Pawcast. And we are joined by our trainer here at Unleashed, Holly Dedrick, here to talk a little bit about just kind of the philosophies and what the training program's all about with Holly, and also a chance to get to know you a little bit. Holly, I appreciate you taking a little time, and excited to have you with us here at Unleashed. I wanted to just start by the real basic question of just, how'd you get into training, and what's been your experience so far as you've worked with dogs?
Yeah, so this has been, I've been committed to this career for probably a couple years now. Since early in high school, I have been around dogs my entire life. My mom was probably my biggest inspiration around it all. She had a breeding program while growing up, so I was around puppies all the time. She was also, she volunteered at a kennel known as Badger Kennel Club, and I got her love of dogs. That was something I inherited from her. So when I was old enough to, I also started volunteering at Badger Kennel Club. We together we assisted a lot of classes with instructors, and that's how I got a lot of like my hands-on knowledge. I've also had a little bit of experience in both a veterinary setting as well as like a grooming setting. So I've kind of been around the map a little bit there in the dog world. So I kind of thought a little bit about grooming, but then I decided that after being in a ring with my own dog for a long time, that I decided, this is truly something that I have a passion for. And so at, I believe I would have been 14 and a half, I started assisting instructors on my own. And then when I turned 18 years old, I was old enough and I had enough knowledge already to begin instructing my own classes. So I have at this point in time been instructing large classes of about like 8 to 10 dogs through just like puppy basics, basic manners, all of that. We are really talking about socialization and how important that can be as well. And I've been doing that for almost 2 years now. So I've definitely I've got a lot of knowledge with puppies especially, but just the importance of socialization is really a really big thing that I love talking about for sure.
Yeah, and so you've worked obviously with puppies and young dogs. What kind of? I know you're working as well on some certifications, and you're working through that, and should be there pretty soon, within a few months, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm currently attending an online course with Animal Behavioral College. They offer a dog training, an official professional dog training certification through their program, and that is around a 6-month program. However, with the holidays coming up, even though I did begin it earlier this year, with the holidays coming up, I'm taking a little break because just with my classes, but I will be getting my certification in early 2025 is the goal.
Yeah, so it sounds great, and obviously you got a lot of hands-on experience thus far. Let's just get to it. I mean, you've been in and around it your whole life. You started again 6 years ago. You're kind of well, I don't know if you're a prodigy, but you've been working on it for a while, and
Oh yeah.
we've heard some very impressive things about you. But what would you say is your favorite thing about being a dog trainer?
So the main thing that I think really pointed itself out to me was just how great it feels to be successful in that regard. The bonding is truly something that you can't get anywhere else. And as someone I've worked with German Shepherds, you've got behaviors all over the place, but I've worked with reactive dogs before, and I understand that it can be, embarrassing, draining, tiring to work with a dog that may be reactive or just have a lot of behavioral issues. And it can really put a taint in bonding with your dog, and it makes a lot of people view dogs badly and everything like that. So my favorite part, I would say, would definitely be just the success of setting goals for yourself, meeting those goals, and everyone else kind of gets to see it. It really is something that boosts you as someone who, way back in middle school when I was trying to find myself and what I wanted to do, that's really the one thing that stuck out to me. And that's, when I decided this is something I am going to pursue.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool to know it and to go for it is pretty cool. So let's talk about the kind of trainer that you are. I mean, a lot of people have a different training philosophies, and some can be, all one way or all the other. But tell me about kind of what your general philosophy is when it comes to, tackling the training of really any type of dog.
Yeah. So I'm very much working with younger dogs. I very much lean towards positive reinforcement and those things. One thing about that I've also worked with German Shepherds is we've done a lot of Schutzhund in the past, and Schutzhund leans a little bit more towards negative reinforcement. So doing work with that as well as work with puppies, I've gotten a taste of kind of what doing both is like, and I've met somewhere in the middle. Like I said, I do lean towards positive reinforcement. However, I'm not much opposed to using some methods of negative reinforcement. I am very solid on drawing that line for the dog, though, of what is an acceptable behavior and what isn't an acceptable behavior. So take, for example, a positive reinforcement would be ignoring a bad behavior and rewarding the good, whereas negative reinforcement would be giving a consequence for a negative behavior and, not ignoring the good, if that makes sense. So I like to meet in the middle there. I like to start with the positive side, so ignoring the bad behavior, rewarding the good. And if that doesn't do it, then I do lean towards negative. So take, for example, if we're working on like something like loose leash walking, I would suggest let's put a prong collar on the dog. I'm very, very opposed to doing it on certain dogs. I think about that a lot very heavily. It depends on the size, kind of the temperament of the dog, how I think the dog is going to handle it, because from my experience with negative reinforcement, it can affect the dog in a negative way as well. So I very much, I oppose a little bit more for negative reinforcement, but I will do it in some cases. So in loose leash walking case, I would suggest a prong collar in that regard, but also, plenty of treats, plenty of talking, making it just a fun, exciting thing for both you and your dog is the big thing there. But I am, I sit somewhere in the middle, but I lean towards positive reinforcement. That's kind of my philosophy there.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. I always think of it in terms of you definitely want to positively reinforce. This works for humans too, because we are all mammals. It works for humans
Right.
too, where you're going to move toward positive incentives more. However, you need to understand what negative behavior is, and it needs to be, corrected in whatever manner. And to your point, not overcorrected, not in a bad way, but I would imagine that if you can't tell a dog or communicate to a dog what you don't want them to do, it's going to make the rest of the training all that much harder, right? So it's kind of probably, I'm assuming, where you come out and why you land where you land.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have a ton to add to that really, but yeah, that's definitely like where I sit in that regard. And I'm very open-minded, so I'm always open to hearing what your opinions might be. And, if you want to try a certain method with your dog, I'm more than happy to give it a try. So long as I'm educated enough on doing it. I don't, jump headfirst into things, but I am, open-minded in that regard. I'm always open to hearing other opinions, and just seeing what works best for both the dog and the handler as well.
Yeah, that's excellent. Let's talk a little bit about the Play and Train program at Unleashed and what we're trying to do. And it's a full day, right, of work with the dog. So there's a half day of socialization with the group and in a group play setting, and then a half day of segmented training. In other words, it's not training for 4 hours. It's just a few maybe 15-minute sessions where you're going to work on particular behavior. But what do you think of the program, and how do you see it benefiting potentially the dogs and customers here with Unleashed?
Yeah, so I would say like the main thing is we're educating you, and that you're not doing the brunt of the work, if that makes sense. So the nice part, obviously, about taking your dog to doggy daycare, to any doggy daycare, is the exercise, and it's probably the number one reason why people bring their dogs to doggy daycare. And what a lot of people don't know is that exercise is the number one cause of most, if not all, behavioral problems. And so when a dog has a lot of energy and a dog, let's say a dog can't find something to do, or you don't give a dog something to do, they're going to find something to do. Especially when you have like working breeds and that kind of thing, a dog with a lot of energy. So when you have that kind of that balance of training, but also putting or exercising your dog, it can be beneficial because you're teaching the dog, what the behaviors that's expected from them, and then allowing them also to go out, exhibit those behaviors, hopefully with other dogs, but also be able to exercise to get that extra energy out as well. So you'll see overall improvements with your dog at home when they're tired. A lot of the time, you'll see a lot of. Hopefully, your dog will do a lot less things like chewing, jumping, those kinds of things often are caused by lack of exercise. So you'll see hopefully a lot of improvement in there. But you'll also see more manners from your dog. So one thing that I always focus on when I'm working with a dog is teaching the dog to just offer behaviors instead of just kind of doing whatever it is they want to do, which is one thing that positive enforcement really, really emphasizes on, is offering behaviors when a dog isn't quite sure how to act. A lot of times, they do what's called offering behavior. So take, for example, when you have a bag of treats, they might jump on you, whereas instead they might sit down on the ground. So it's kind of, you'll see hopefully a change with that. It's teaching. You'll get your own at-home videos as well, teaching you what to do with your dog. And working as a trainer, but I also, I work with the handlers as much as I work with the dogs, and I'm all about making sure that you have an understanding and that you have a drive and a passion for seeing improvement in your dog. Because when you have, you'll see overall improvements in behavior, but you can also take, what we start into something bigger. So I always encourage people who have, taken up a liking in spending time with their dog to go out and do something with the dog. So whether that be just take them out, places with you, or do things such as like showing or sports, that kind of thing, you can really build off of those behaviors as well. And so that's what I'm hoping to start with clients and handlers as a trainer, and we can hopefully see your dog and watch them build and grow, just starting with the daycare itself.
Yeah, and I think the benefit too of not having just maybe an hour session or shorter sessions, but the whole day, where you have that socialization and all the energy that's an exercise that's expended, and then some important learning sessions with really what we work for are the basic manners, leash training, the commands in your house, if your dog's jumping or barking, that sort of stuff, having better manners, but having the chance to drop your dog off in the morning and have your dog experience the full encompassing day of both socialization, exercise, stimulation, and then also some training, and having us share with you what we're doing, having you be involved in the process. Kind of a complete package there. I don't mean to brag, but I feel like that's a pretty complete package in a given day. And that's what our play and trade program is all about, right? And working with the dogs and pet parents to really accomplish a big goal here.
Right. And I'm just talking a little bit more about, why we might do smaller training sessions over bigger training sessions. When I meet and talk with a lot of people, they often get confused on, how often should we be working with our dogs at home? So let's at home, the recommended training session is anywhere between like 8 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes is pushing it a little bit. But even so, we work with the dogs to, adjust that time. Different dogs have different attention spans, and we're going to work with that for sure. But one thing a dog does is oftentimes when we train the dog, I'll work with the dog for 5-10 minutes, however long, and then you put them to rest. It's been shown, studies have shown that it gives the dog a lot more time to reflect on the information it's just been given. And so when it's able to given that time to rest and reflect, it definitely learns the behaviors a lot better. It also allows training to be a more positive thing. Like I said, dogs do, they have attention spans, so they get tired, they get distracted, whatever it is. And it makes it really frustrating, especially if you're doing like an hour-long training session. The dog is going to stop paying attention at some point. And so, doing your best to avoid that, you want to do a shorter training session with, not a ton of information, because obviously you can give a lot of information to a person the same way you can a dog, and it's not always going to process. So giving a little bit of information at a time and really sticking to that, and then letting the dog rest to kind of reflect on that information, really allows the dog to hopefully let the dog improve on that behavior. Excuse me there.
Yeah.
Let the dog improve on that behavior, and you will see hopefully some overall improvement.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's what we're looking for. So it should be a great time, Holly. Appreciate it very much. And again, you can obviously check out our website, our webpage here at unleashedmadison.com for more information. You can call us or chat with us or send us a text, and we would love to see your dog in our play and train program so we can help you and your dog out here at Unleashed.
Very exciting for sure.
All right, awesome conversation with Holly. Again, can't wait for that play and train program just to become as big as we think it's going to get, because it's really a cool concept. It's awesome, and we can't wait to just enhance it and to make it a great service for everyone who wants to have some training and wants to have it be effective and useful. That'll about do it for the podcast. Before we say goodbye, one other awesome announcement. There's just so many. One other awesome announcement that we have, and that is that we are now open for daycare on Saturdays. Woo! It's awesome. We're super excited to be open for daycare on Saturdays. We were just Monday through Friday. Now we're going to be Monday through Saturday, full day daycare services. So you can do structured daycare, you can do hybrid, you can do solo, we can do play and train on Saturdays. So we got everything, and we're able to do all the fun that we do all during the week on Saturdays as well. So that's going to be pretty exciting, just to have all the activities that we do on Saturdays: the snuggles, the cuddles, the fun, the play, the activities that you can bring your dog. And again, whether you're working on Saturday or if you're just needing to get the dog out of the house and get your dog some activity on a Saturday, maybe, for whatever reason you're shopping, again, it's all available. All the fun and the play is all available for Saturdays here in 2025 and again, going forward. So we're super excited about that. Daycare right now, available now on Saturdays. So bring your dog in on Saturday. And if you're boarding your dog, they can be joining the daycare pack on Saturdays. We can do daycare with boarding now on Saturdays as well. So pretty fired up about that. So it's pretty exciting. As always with Unleashed, you can get in touch with us a lot of ways. We try to be as modern as possible. Contact us, go to our website. There's so much information on our website, and we're trying to enhance it all the time. So if you haven't visited Unleashed Madison in a while, please do. There's new videos, there's new content, there's refreshed content. I'm always working on upgrading all the pages to get you better information. So keep checking the website out. There's a chat bot on the website. So if you click on it, you can type in a message. We might not get back to you right away. It could be like a few hours or worst case scenario the next day. But we try and get your questions answered from the chat bot. So you can leave a message for us that way. You can email us, you can text us, you can call us, you can visit our social media sites because they're all there. Actually, we're on TikTok as well. I missed it, but YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we're on all of the social media platforms, and we're constantly loading videos onto those social media platforms. Pictures, videos, fun. So check it out because they are a great visit. So again, there's so many ways to get a hold of Unleashed. You have no excuses. Check us out, but get online and enjoy what you see from the content at Unleashed, and hopefully we can answer any questions. But if you need us, we're here for you to board, to do daycare, to do training, and to do grooming services. We have it all now, and we are a one-stop shop and just getting better and better. We'll talk to you again on the Unleashed Pawcast in February. Plan to do one podcast per month with a special guest each time, and giving you some educational content, telling you what's going on around Unleashed, and just having a good time like always. And until then, we'll see you around here at Unleashed.
Take me to play, 'cause I really like to go there. I will have some fun. I'll be soaking up the sun. Unleash the joy.